Hello, my name is Grin, and this is my beard. Today's crumb that I'm pulling out of my beard is going to be this microphone and my videos. I don't know yet because I haven't listened to this video, but as far as I know, my voice has probably been different than what you're hearing right now in the previous videos. And the reason for that is because this microphone and my connector that I have to my computer was set to a different setting, 24 bits instead of 16 bits. So it was at studio quality, but it was actually only recording at CD quality on the program here that I'm using, OBS. So I have no idea if my voice sounds the way it did before. I only figured this out because I was trying to do a music video, record some of my singing, and it was in the wrong key. It was just not right. So I checked the settings and found out, yep, we're on different settings here. So now that it is fixed, does my voice sound different? I'm gonna find out after I've recorded this video. But here's the other topic that I want to talk about: Halloween. Halloween is pretty awesome. I think it's my favorite uh, holiday. Not even a holiday. It's my favorite celebration of the year. I think Halloween is for everybody, even people who are not Christian or I don't. It's not even Christian. It's a pagan holiday, right? I'm pretty sure it is. I know that it was started, or the first Halloween, I guess, Hallows Eve, was from Ireland. So it's an Irish holiday or Irish uh, celebration, right? About the dead coming back to the living world because they only had two seasons back then. They didn't really understand the seasons, so they had summer and winter. And when winter came around, everything died. So when's the beginning of winter? November, right? So November being the beginning of winter, that's the day before Hallows Eve would be the day 31st of October. So that's when um, all the dead stuff would come to the living world. Excuse me. So then there's all the other neat Halloween. What do you want to call it? In Japanese, we say bunka. We call it culture. Yeah, culture. So specifically, the trick or treating. What's that all about? Why do we put on costumes? Well, apparently, um, this. Tell me if I'm wrong, but in Ireland during that time, what they would do is they would put on scary stuff or try to dress up like ghosts and goblins or whatever kind of creature that they could just to look scary. And then they would go out into the town and whatnot and try to scare all the bad ghosts and stuff away with torches and stuff like that. And they would go from house to house in the villages and scaring away the bad stuff. So I guess people in those houses would come out and give them, some bread or a baked yam or whatever they gave their, probably potatoes, right? Baked potato or something. So I don't know where the trick or treat comes from. That's probably something more recent or contemporary. But I think that's where that comes from, where the whole idea of trick or treating comes from. So you're getting on your costume and you're going out and you're scaring all the bad monsters and whatnot, and you're getting some sort of food or drink or whatnot as a thank you for scaring all the bad monsters away. And I guess the jack o' lantern was originally not in a pumpkin, but it was in a turnip. They would make like giant turnips, and they would carve those into jack o' lanterns, put them out on their door, and light them up with a candle or something, so that they could entice their family members or dead family members to come to the house during the Day of the Dead or the Hallows Eve thing. I believe that's what I've been told, and that's what I've seen. I don't know how to figure out whether or not some of this stuff is real, but it seems like there should be somebody out there that did some research on it. I just haven't found them yet. But it seems like it would make sense. I saw it on a kids show or something like that. That's the big thing. It's for kids. Halloween, kids love Halloween because you get to dress up and whatnot. Here in Japan, not so much. There's no trick or treating here. They don't do that. Well, there might be a few places that do trick or treating, or a few cities, towns, or whatnot that do trick or treating, but nowhere in my area, and not all over Japan. Not like it is in the United States, maybe England and Australia too, where everybody's doing trick or treating. Maybe they're doing it. I don't know if you're in Australia or England, how much trick or treating do you guys your kids do? Um, However, in Japan, it's more adult oriented. Like when you put on a costume here in Japan, it's cosplay or whatnot. They don't they don't consider cosplay unless you're doing like uh, very specific cosplay of characters from an anime or something like that, or a TV show or a comic. It's not really cosplay. Then it's more like erotic cosplay. And when you go to this variety store where they sell, various things like the Don Quixote or whatnot, and you see the costume section, the costume section is usually, uh, you know, sexy maid or sexy cat, or it's for girls to dress up in a sexy way because it's more of a sexy cosplay type of thing. That's what they consider cosplay. If you want something a real costume, then you really have to go to a what do you want to call it? Well, a specialty store or online or make it yourself. My costume, I've learned because I'm a teacher and I have to teach these little kids, and no matter how awesome your costume is, if it's scary, you're gonna have problems. So I've done things like a ghost or a devil and whatnot, and then kids will look at me and they'll be like, ah, especially the little kids, and ah, I'm scared. So I stopped doing that and I started doing something really not scary. So I dress up as Woody from Toy Story. I got the gun, that cowboy hat, and the whole works. And no one's scared. None of the kids are scared of that. They're always very happy to see Woody. So that's perfect. Then the kids are happy and they don't have to go crying to mama whenever they see me. Jeez. So I'm gonna do a late Halloween party for my school, and it's it's gonna be like my first time doing a kind of bigger kind of party where we're gonna have cookie making and games and a costume contest. And a friend of mine in what is it, 100 miles away from here, invited me to come to his Christmas or Christmas Halloween party. Halloween, yeah, Halloween party. He asked me to come to his Halloween party, and I did, and it was great. It seemed so much fun, and my kids came with me. They had a lot of fun, and so I decided I really should do something like that, just because it's fun. I enjoy it. Halloween is a time to enjoy. And here in Japan, they tried to actually ban Halloween and celebrating Halloween in, what was it, somewhere in Tokyo, like Shibuya or Ikebukuro. I can't remember exactly where, but because these people in their Halloween costumes and whatnot would get a little bit too rowdy and, I don't know, make a mess, destroy some trash cans or uh, hambaiki, what is it called, Jito hambaiki, vending machines, or just make a lot of noise and cause difficulty for people who are just trying to get home from work or whatnot. So they they kind of banned costumes from people wearing costumes from getting on the trains. I don't know if that was last year, so I don't know if it's like that this year. Plus, last year and the year before, it was more about coronavirus and stuff like that. So it's like, don't be too rowdy because we don't want to spread coronavirus or something like that. I'm not really sure. I don't live there, so I don't really know exactly what the politics of it was and why they decided to do that. But Yeah, Japan's kind of funny like that. They get a little bit rambunctious during special times, and I I bet that a lot of that rambunctiousness comes from foreigners celebrating Halloween and trying to push it as far as they can go. And there's there's a thing called Gaijin Smash, which is basically when you don't ask for permission, you just do the thing that you're gonna do, and then later, if you have to, you beg for forgiveness. But you just do it, and most of the time, people will just ignore it and be like, "Ah, he's a foreigner. What can you do?" That's called a Gaijin Smash. I've been a I've been guilty of that a few times. Not now. I understand the how important it is to be diplomatic in your host country, but when I first came here, it was a lot of gaijin smashing. Yeah, I'm not proud of it. Anyways, that's what was on my mind today. See you.